We all want confidence, building more of it, being it, and in various aspects of our lives, professionally, in our business, personally, at home, with our hobbies. But usually we only think about wanting it when it's around something we don't think we're very good at or we want to be better at. Like no one thinks about wanting to be more confident drinking water, right? Or no one thinks about wanting to sleep more confidently. Like things that we know how to do and feel sound in doing. But it's also often around things that we want other people to know and sense that we're good at, right? That it comes across a certain way. And most people will talk about confidence as like something you get with practice, with doing, right? Because usually, really confidence is the outcome, is the result of you being able to do something well. You then feel confident. It is a feeling that you can embody because you know you do something well, right? Unless you're pretending. But I think there's a more important skill. There's a more important habit that is going to be far more helpful and give us ultimately what we're looking for and wanting to be more confident. That ultimately it is just more valuable. And that answer, that habit, that skill is fearlessness in yourself. Fearlessness in being you. And this comes from, I'm 41 now, so 30 plus years of experience in trying to figure out how do I fearlessly be myself. But also in now, however many years has it been? 6 years, 7 years of coaching, of helping people build that sense of confidence and fearlessness. And people always say they want confidence, but the reason that I strive for fearlessness is because being able to fully trust yourself, to be yourself, having no fear in being the person that you are, is going to get you so much farther when you do not know that you can for sure do a thing. Because oftentimes when people feel confident about something, it's because they believe and they can rely on the fact that they have the ability to do something, that they believe they can. Whereas fearlessness to me comes from a place of you trusting that you're solid and you're good and you can take things on, even if you do not know whether you can make it happen. And as a result, confidence sometimes can get segmented across certain skills or certain outcomes because you know how to do that thing or you know you're good at this skill. Whereas fearlessness in yourself is universal. That is always with you if you build it. And I truly believe that fearlessness is possible in this realm. Because what you have to get the reps in on is not one specific skill or one specific outcome or one way of doing something that you can master, but rather the skill of being you. The skill of trusting yourself to show up as yourself, to communicate as yourself, to act as yourself, to be wholly embodied in this person and in this mind, such that you don't ever doubt the person that you are. And if you don't ever doubt the person that you are, you bring that person into anything that you do. So that even if you are going to try something for the first time, you may not know how to do that particular thing. However, you know how to be you in that context, and you will always be confident in bringing yourself into that situation. The fact that you are not going to be able to do the thing well almost doesn't matter, because you know in your heart of hearts there's no reason you should be able to do this thing well if it's your first time. And if you do, amazing. Either luck or pure talent, natural born genius, cool. But you will not be unconfident in yourself. And if you are fearlessly willing to be yourself at all times, that fearlessness, your ability to do hard things, your ability to show up in situations that are challenging, your ability to take on challenges, even if they are foreign to you, are the skills and the reps that you get by training to be fearlessly yourself, such that you get used to the feeling of you being in uncomfortable situations, of you being in new and foreign situations, of you tackling problems that you previously had never tackled, and you getting the reps in on learning how you are going to deal with new and uncomfortable situations, such that you can probably almost predict how you're going to respond. Maybe not physically to every single situation, because the physical interaction in every new experience might be a little bit different, but you know mentally how you're going to respond. That you're going to try something new, that you're going to learn something from it, that you're going to make a mistake, that you're going to be like, oh, silly, I didn't know that. Oh, great. Like, now I do. And now I can try it. Or, oh, I must have looked so dumb. Like, that becomes part of the experience, the repetitive experience that you get your reps in on over and over, to the point where then you get so comfortable being in new and uncertain situations that becomes a comfortable place. To the point where now, like, I can show up in any room, find myself in any situation, and even if I feel nerves around doing the new thing, I don't ever feel nerves in myself, in the person that I am. I embody this person wholly. And there are likely still going to be situations where I find myself in sometimes where something like shakes that sense of embodiment a little bit. But because I've gotten my reps in so many times, because I've put myself in those uncomfortable situations so many times, the gap is really small. Like, how much someone can shake you for me being me, it's going to be marginal. Like, honestly, the only thing I can think of is being in like a situation where I'm like genuinely fearing for my life, because you can't quite replicate those situations. You can't quite put yourself in a situation where you fear for your life on a really regular basis. But I've been in enough situations where they're deeply uncomfortable and they feel like I'm being threatened in some way, even if it's not in a true survival, like life or death way, though I have been in those situations too, is how quickly I can get to a place of calm. And how quickly I can get to a place where I'm like, okay, we have to problem solve. How do we get out of this? And building your reps in on getting comfortable with discomfort, getting comfortable with the unknown, getting comfortable with you being uncomfortable will eventually make you more comfortable being uncomfortable. And slowly, ultimately to the point where the feeling of discomfort becomes really, really marginal, because you've been in discomfort so many times. And such that even when you're going to be put in new situations, foreign situations, you are going to be better equipped to take on that new thing and learn that new thing, because you will be that much more open to the new thing. You will be that much more curious about the new thing, because you won't be gripped by fear and stress and anxiety and embarrassment and preemptively worrying about shame or ridicule or criticism. You can move into this other place of, this is an adventure. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what I'm going to learn. What is this going to be about? How is this going to feel? I'm so excited. That is what's possible when you can move from one place where you're seized by the discomfort and the feelings that come up are going to be connected to that discomfort rather than the excitement and the openness. Because when you can move yourself into a place of excitement about a new thing, the way you're going to respond is going to be based on those feelings in the same way that the way that you're going to respond is going to be based off the feelings of stress, of negativity. And confidence in each individual task, of course, is going to get easier with reps. Like, I decided to just learn how to ride a motorcycle a few years ago. I knew how to ride a scooter, but I didn't know how to ride a manual motorcycle. And getting my license has always been on my bucket list. And my confidence in my motorcycle riding can only come with actually riding a motorcycle and practicing. However, my confidence in myself at, I think I was 38 at the time or 39, maybe 38, anyway, to learn that, to be like, okay, I'm going to do this hard new thing. I'm going to go buy a bike that is harder for me than maybe I should, because if I get myself a bike that I can grow into, I have more room to learn. Like, my trust in myself and my fearlessness in being myself and in my ability to do hard things, to learn hard things, allowed me to take the class, to get my license, to go buy a motorcycle, to start learning and practicing by myself in New York City, when it's pretty hard to like practice in New York City because there aren't parking lots you can just go to drop my bicycle multiple times and get back up. Luckily, no crashes yet. To go shopping for the gear, to get myself fully outfitted with no support except, the internet. To then learn how to get on on a highway also with no one to teach me, because you don't learn that in class. To trust my ability to like go faster and manage speed. Like, I've topped out at 121 miles or 126, one of those. But that was after building up the courage to like do that and to understand what it feels like to be at 121 miles on a motorcycle or 126. And to know what that sensation is like, to continually put myself in harder situations, even though I had never ridden at that speed before. To take myself on a solo, like 2-3 hour drive, even though the longest drive I had taken at that point was maybe 2 hours, and that was with someone. And so always pushing the bounds of comfort to the point where now I'm like, I kind of want to learn how to fly a plane. Though that's expensive and I haven't like wanted to commit to that budget yet. But I now also want to learn paragliding. Like, there's so many things that I want to learn that I'm like, I don't fear like learning any of those things, even though I fully recognize that I could die learning those things. I was also someone who was afraid to like speak in class all the way through college, largely because I grew up in a household that was like, no one wants to hear what you think, so shut up. And now, like, there's not a single social situation you could throw me into where I would not find someone to talk to or feel totally comfortable standing by myself for the entire time if needed. Like, these things we get comfortable with by continually putting ourselves in more and more uncomfortable situations and increasing our familiarity with discomfort, building our fearlessness in ourselves, in our abilities to take on any situation. And this is why I find building our skill of fearlessness in ourselves to be so much more valuable than anything else. Ooh, I think it glitched out for a moment. Okay. I'm going to repeat that in case it just glitched out. But that's why I find the skill of fearlessness to be so much more valuable than anything else. Because at the end of the day, or not anything else, but more than confidence, is because confidence in ourselves comes from our trust in our entire self, in our whole being, and our whole body, on our whole set of skills, in our abilities, in our, like, who we are fundamentally. It also comes from a love of ourselves that we don't think we're not good enough, that we don't think we are unworthy of being in certain spaces, or no one wants to hear what we have to say. Like, confidence is a result. And without knowing how long it's going to take you to get to the result of feeling a certain way, then build the skill that is actually possible to build with reps, which is a trust in yourself so deeply that there's nothing that could shake your courage to be you. And if you can build an unshakable courage, a fearlessness, in being yourself, excuse me, I just burped, then confidence is on the other side of that. Confidence comes as an outcome, as a result of you wholly trusting yourself to show up in your life and to take on any challenge. And that confidence is going to directly lend itself to you building specific confidence in any one skill or outcome that you're trying to drive towards. I hope you take that into consideration, because every single day is an opportunity for you to build your fearlessness in yourself. And every single day, instead of waiting for yourself to feel confident or trying to fake a sense of confidence, take the time and the energy to build something so much more valuable, which is a deep intrinsic belief that there is nothing you can't do. And tell me if at the end of that, you don't feel a whole lot of fucking confidence in yourself.